Hello.
Rose, how are you?
We are fine.
Great. So welcome to our today's AMA session. It will be quite a brief but interesting one. I would want us to look at basically two topics. The first one being this concept of value of information. Value of information. Value of perfect information. Value of perfect information. And I would want us, if you guys have your past papers, I would want us to look at May 2019 question number 1C. May 2019 question number 1C. May 2019 question number 1C. For those of you who have got these revision kits, RCM's revision kits, we are looking at this question, which is on page number 10. Page number 10. Page number 10. So as you guys open this particular question, open your past papers to get this particular question, I would want to make a request. Please go to your Facebook pages, specifically AfriSchool page, and share the video which is live on that particular page. If you do that, as usual, of course, those of you who are my students know that I'm not a mean person. I should be able to buy you lunch, And that will be very important, especially during these corona tough times, isn't it? So AfriSchool, I'm doing this on a very serious note. Go to AfriSchool. Go to AfriSchool page. Here we are. I'm able to see this particular live video, which unfortunately I can see a very small number watching, only 8 are online. So we share. So first of all, I'll share this on my page. And then of course I share the same to the various groups that I happen to be a member, like the accountants on Facebook. Accountants on Facebook, these are people who have really given us a lot of support. We like giving them this stuff for free because every time most of them see our stuff, they really share. Garissa County, we have Nyeri, I'm a member of many groups. Eldoret, biggest black market. Please do the same. Please share. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've been able to get this question, May 2019 question number 1C. May 2019 question number 1C. For those of you who do not have the question, here we are. You're able to see the question on your screen. Marima Limited. It's always important that for this kind of lengthy questions, you start by looking at the required. Required, for each decision, determine the expected monetary value. Number 2, advise the management of Marima Limited on the action to take, assuming that Rima Limited could supply perfect information at a cost of 5 million. So we are told, I'm reading from the top here, Marima Limited is considering introducing 2 new products in the market. The company has the following options. Option number 1, introduce both products. Option 2, introduce either of the products. Option 3, introduce none of the products, depending on their performance in the market. An analysis of the product's likely performance indicates the probability of a good performance as 30%, fair performance as 50%, and a poor performance as 20%. The sales revenue, depending on the state of nature, is as follows. So they have given us decision. They have given us here the states of nature like that. So this is fairly a straightforward question. What I need to do is to come and do my table here. So we have our table. Remember to put your alternatives here. So we have alternatives versus states of nature. States of nature. Ladies and gentlemen, states of nature are basically those events which are uncontrollable. Events that you, as the decision maker, you've got little powers over them. If, for example, ladies and gentlemen, you are a farmer, you happen to be having like 1 acre piece of land somewhere where you're contemplating planting either maize or beans. So maize or beans, those are your alternatives. But there being rain or no rain, those are acts of God. You've got no control at all as to whether we are going to have rain or no rain. So rain or no rain becomes automatically what we call the states of what here? Nature. Like in this case here, our states of nature, we have what we call good performance. We have fair performance. We have, in this case here, very poor performance. And then what they have done, ladies and gentlemen, they have given us the alternatives here, neither or none. We have product 1 only. We have product 2 only. And then we have both 1 and 2. So if we go for none, of course, regardless of the performance, we expect not to harvest anything, 0, 0, 0. If we go for product 1 only, I can see 30. I can see 15.6 here. I can see 7.2. I can see here 25.2. I can see here 14.4. I can see 7.2. We have both 52.8, 8.8, and then we have 3.2. Then fortunately, they have given us the probabilities. Good performance, I can see 30%. That is the same as 0.3. Let me use a red pen here. So 0.3. We have probability for fair performance being 0.5. And then we have probability for poor performance being 0.2. Of course, a student who is doing these things knows that a good student who is doing these things right knows that the probabilities here have to be exhaustive. When you add them, we expect total probability to be 1. Now, what do they want us to do, ladies and gentlemen? In the first requirement, they expect us to give them the expected monetary value. So expected monetary value is quite easy. It's an average. What we need to do is to take the payoffs times their corresponding probabilities. So like for none, you take the payoff here times 0.3 plus this times this plus this times that. Like now 0, of course, multiplied by anything is 0. Come to alternative 1. So I can see a payoff of 30, but I'm able to see a probability. So what I'll do, I'll attach the probabilities. I'll attach the probability. So we have here 30 with its probability of 0.3 times 0.3 plus, that is, or I get this 15.6 times 0.5, or I get 7.2 times 0.2, which will give me 18.24. So here we have 18.24. Go and do the same with the alternative 2. Alternative 2, what do we have? We have 25.2 times 0.3, because I'm working with the corresponding probability, or I get this 14.4 times 0.5, or I get 17.2. Sorry, I have to repeat this. We're talking of, yeah, we are okay. 25.2 times that. I can just look at my calculator here. So the first one is 25.2 times 0.3 plus 14.4, yes, times 0.5 plus the last one, which happens to be 7.2 times 0.2, which will give us 16.2. The last one, we have 52.8 times the corresponding 0.3 plus 8.8 times the corresponding 0.5 plus 3.2 times 0.2, ladies and gentlemen, which will give us 20 point what here? 20.88. 20.88. I want to pause a little bit and request for a question or any clarification that you guys would be having as regards this first part, where they wanted us to give them expected monetary value, expected monetary value, expected monetary value. Expected monetary value. Expected monetary value, expected monetary value, expected monetary value. Any question? Is there somebody who has been able to do these figures with us? Are they correct, all of them? Somebody mute them.
Yeah. Unachekanga nini wewe? Yeah. Kwani unacheka watu na viatu wewe?
No, you know that is the essence of live classes. We study as families. We study as families. I'm not able to see their names. I would want to see whether there is a student who got this correct. You can even type a comment on Facebook On the Zoom, I hope you are able to see. On the Zoom, you are able to see. On the Zoom, you are able to see a place where you can raise your hand, a place where you will be able to comment. So we have been able to get expected monetary value. Ladies and gentlemen, having gotten this expected monetary value, we are going to make a decision in this case here, which corresponds with the highest expected, the higher the money, the better. So in this case here, the highest monetary value is this 20.88. And because of that, we are going to recommend that this company launches both 1 and 2, products 1 and 2 at the same time. Products 1 and 2 at the same time. Is that okay? So if that is okay, allow us to go straight away to number 2. Number 2, they want us to advise the management of Marima Limited on the action to take, assuming that Rima Limited could supply perfect information at a cost of 5 million. So ladies and gentlemen, how do we get expected value of perfect information? To get expected value of perfect information, we normally take expected value with perfect information minus best EMV. Quite an important formula. Expected value of perfect information equals expected value with perfect information minus best expected monetary value. So first of all, we handle this expected value with perfect information. Under expected value with perfect information, normally what we do, we go to each column. We go to each state of nature, assuming that we have perfect information as regards to the first state of nature to prevail. Somebody has told us that it is the first state of nature which will prevail. Which outcome will we go for? We'll go for the highest. So go for the columns, each column one at a time, circling the highest figure. So with perfect information, it is the second one that will prevail. I'll go for 15.6. Here I will go for either the 2, and that is it. And now come and give us what we call expected value with the PI. So with perfect information, what I'll do, because of the word expected, I'll pick like 52.8 times the probability, which is 0.3, plus 15.6 times the probability, which is 0.5, plus the last one, of course, there are 2, but I can only pick one, 7.2, times, in this case here, the probability is 0.2, because they want an expected value. They want an expected value. So having gotten that, ladies and gentlemen, come right away and multiply. Give us 52.8 times 0.3 times 0.3 plus 15.6 times 0.5 plus 7.2 times 0.2, which at the end of the day will give us 25.08. And then now you come back and they give us this expected value of perfect information, which will be equal to the expected value with perfect information. With information, we have 25.08. Best EMV without any information, ladies and gentlemen, without this perfect information, I would have settled there. This is the best EMV. The best EMV is there, so minus 20.88. So come and they give us a figure. So we have here 25.08 minus 20.88, which in this case here gives me 4.2 million, which happens to be the maximum amount that I can pay to acquire perfect information. So if somebody asks for more than this, I will not accept that offer. And what we are being told, ladies and gentlemen, is that this company is asking for 5 million. So 5 million is way more than the 4.2. So I will reject this. I will reject this. So I would want to take this opportunity here, ladies and gentlemen, straight away to do one question on learning curves. But before I cross over, please ensure that you share this post on FB. Share this post on FB. Share the post on Facebook. Share this post on Facebook. So we are sharing. I'm sharing to the various groups that we have in common. Unfortunately, there are some of us who are watching and who don't want really to support their mwalimu. No, that is quite bad. That's quite bad. That's quite bad. Support mwalimu by sharing this. When you share, you're supporting Mwalimu. Remember, business is quite tough right now. We are trying to ensure that we really get to people's homes for us to be able to sustain our businesses. So please, when I ask you to share, kindly just share. I know what I'm talking about. And then now we shall go straight away to what we call learning curves. Learning curves. Now, as you share, ladies and gentlemen, as you share, I would want to take this opportunity as well to show you how dangerous this COVID-19 is. If you would allow me, in just a minute, I want to demonstrate something very serious here for you to be able to really comprehend what we are tackling, the enemy that you're tackling, called COVID. And I would want to use some statistics. Now, day one, when this particular outcome, when this particular, in this case here, disease was announced in Kenya, how many cases in this case here did our good minister announce? Patient number one only, Brenda, the famous Brenda. Patient number one. After 20 days, on exactly the 20th day, we had how many cases here as of yesterday? 89. So I would want us to come and calculate the growth rate of these cases using the famous formula that I normally teach you in finance, where the growth rate is normally obtained by us taking n-1 all the way into the most current number divided by the old number minus 1. So n number of days, we are talking of 20 minus, so we are talking of 19th root of the current number, which is 89, divided by the oldest number, which is 1 minus 1. So then these will be the 19th root of 89. 19th root of 89 minus 1. So if you do the 19th root of 89 equals minus 1, we are getting a crazy growth rate figure of 26.6% every day. Now, I know because of the good work that the government is doing, this figure could be slightly going down. And I would want us to assume that the rate is what here? I would want us to work with a rate of 18%. Because I know now Kenyans are cautious. That is why most of you are watching these things from home. Right? Now, because of the caution, hygiene, social distancing, etc., let's work with 18%. And my wish will be we derive this figure below 3%. Below 3%. But right now, we work with 18%. So if that is the case, then ladies and gentlemen, the formula for prediction which I would want to use, the simplest model of prediction, which I would want to use is this one of compound interest, where amount is supposed to be principal into 1 plus r raised to what? Raised to n. Right? And I would want us to predict the number of patients we shall be having at the end of this month, 30 days from today. So then the amount here will be equal to the principal, which is 89, into 1 plus the rate, which is 0.18 raised to 30 days. Then this one, ladies and gentlemen, will amount to what? It is 89 times 1.18 raised to 30 days. Raised to 30 days, which will give me 12,759 point something. So 12,760 people. Our good government is predicting that we shall be having about 10,000. So you can see my mathematics is not very far off the 10,000. Now, why did I decide to use this compounding formula? It's because of the kind of relay that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, the relay that we have is not that relay where we give someone a button and then this person goes with that button, single button, throughout the relay. No, this is that kind of a relay where myself as your Mwalimu Aura here, I happen to be having like 20 buttons. I can call them sticks, where I endorse. I give, in this case here, one person one button, he goes with it. And of course, he may have got another buttons from other people. You could also be having like 20 of them, running with them. So I'm left with 19 here, which I'll continue dishing out. These buttons are basically the COVID-19 viruses. So, and I'll continue dishing them out, 20, quite a huge number. I'll continue dishing them out till the time I die, assuming that I will die, I'll not be able to recover till the time that I die. And even at my deathbed, on my deathbed, the people will come burying me, I'll be having a few to give them, a few, to give them like that. So then you can see the compounding effect that I gave one person this one button, I'm left with 19 here to give, which I'll continue giving, and the people that I gave there had also their own buttons. So in this case here, their own sticks. So they're giving out so many. So in this case here, the growth is exponential. That is why we started with 1, day 1, maybe 2, day 2. Now we are talking of what here, 22 in day 20. So you can see the growth is really expanding like that. So let us do a projection if we misbehave, if we don't really put whatever our movements that we have on hold, if we don't take this curfew seriously, if our good government not even think about a lockdown for some time, a few days, few weeks. I know it's quite crazy to think of that, but if that is really what is going to prevent the spread of this bad disease, let me first of all show you this. So we have here A equals 89 into 1.18, 60. 2 months is 60 days. So then this will give us what here, somebody. So we have here 89 times 1.18 raised to 60. This means that if we don't really take care, in 2 months' time, we'll be having 1.8 million people, 18 to 947 people having this coronavirus. The only way out is to ensure that we work on this rate. That's why you hear of WHO talking of flattening the growth rate. We ensure that this rate of growth goes below, say, 3%. If that happens, then we shall be able to get back to our normal businesses. We'll be able to get back to our normal businesses. There are very many other models that we would have used to model this, like this growth rate. If I'm given a chance, I should be able to, for example, calculate the daily growth rates, and then using the geometric mean, I'll be able to give you a growth rate, which is quite real, which is quite actual. But even that notwithstanding, I hope you've been able to see what this may translate to. So what I would want to urge you as my great students, I don't want to lose any student to this bad virus. Please, social distancing is key. Don't joke. This thing is key, social distancing. And how do you do your social distancing? Like now through AfriSchool, I've been able to give you such classes. Study from home. If there is nothing you're coming to do to town, in town here, please remain at home. Study there. I normally get many students who call me telling me, Mwalimu, how can we meet? You show me. No, meeting me means, for example, if I'm sick, you catching up this disease. So stay home, wash your hands, do all those things in this case here, which have been recommended. Otherwise, this thing has the potential of wiping out humanity. So can I go back to learning curves, because these are an area of medicine which I'm not really an expert. Any question as I go to my learning curves? Any question or contribution towards this? Yes, have you been able to follow this? Okay, great. So please, as I go straight away to the next concept here, I would want us to go back to Facebook a little bit and share this, like the information that I've just done here. I would want this information here to hit the highest offices. I'm so sure they can get something to from this. Okay, so ensure that we are sharing. Great. So straight away, learning curves. It's a 10 minutes thing that I would want to do. And the learning curves, 10 minutes only. And this is the question that I want us to do. For those of you who have got these revision kits, these revision kits, RCM revision kits, I would want us to go straight away to page number 15. Page number 15. Page number 15, May 2017, question number 2B. May 2017, question number 2B. And don't forget that AfriSchool is selling this particular online content at a very affordable price. You only pay us 3,500 shillings. With that amount, we shall be able to give you access to our pre-recorded videos, notes, and of course, access to our live classes. So we are told here, Jumbo Limited is a multi-product firm. The company intends to launch a new product branded ZP in the coming months. Production will be in batches of 1,000 units throughout the life of the product. It is expected to achieve a 90% learning curve, but the learning would cease after the 64th batch. So learning is ceasing after the 64th batch. So they have given us the expected life, 256,000. They have given us selling price, total direct labor cost for the first batch is 52,500. Then the learning index has been given there. So they want us to give them the expected profit. Ladies and gentlemen, for this class, I would only want to estimate the total labor cost, total labor cost. Now, when it comes to learning curves, the formula which we have to have mastery over is this formula for predicting total time or total cost, where y equals ax raised to power b plus 1. So in this particular case, our y will be total cost. Our a will be time or cost. In this case here, cost for producing the first unit, which we have this figure given to us as 52,500. And then we have X, ladies and gentlemen, X is the total production, total quantity produced. We have B. B is the learning index. B is the learning index, which is normally obtained by us taking log R divided by log 2. Learning index is log R divided by log 2. Like this examiner has given us the rate, which is 90%. So log 0.9 divided by log 2. So log 0.9 divided by log 2, you take your calculator, we have log 0.9 divided by log 2, giving us minus 0.152. Once I get this, I'll come back here and talk of what here somebody, B plus 1. So we have this B plus 1. That will give us what figure? 0.845, 0.848, 0.4848, 8 there, 0.848 like that, yes, yes. So ladies and gentlemen, we happen to be having our y, which will be equal to a that already we have, which is 52,500 into x raised to 0.848. According to this question, the total batches are 256 because they are producing in batches of 1,000. So if you take 256,000 divided by 1,000, that gives us 256. However, the learning curve is only applicable up to 64th batch. The learning curve, I'm repeating this, my learning curve, ladies and gentlemen, my learning curve is only applicable, if I draw it here, the learning curve is only applicable up to the 64th batch. From there, we cease learning. So what I need to do is to come and give these people the total cost of the first 64 batches. It will be 52,500 times 64 raised to 0.848, because the learning curve can only be used up to the 64th batch. So we have 52,500 times 64 raised to 0.848, which at the end of the day gives me 1785,665, like that. I hope you're able to follow. 1,785,665 Kenya shillings. From there, ladies and gentlemen, I must double underline this figure. Then next, I'll come and give them what we call the stability cost. The stability cost, which is the cost of the 64th batch. Cost of the 64th batch. So how do we get the cost of the 64th batch? I will talk of Y64, first 64, minus Y, first what year? 63. 63. So I'll have to write this figure somewhere here, 1785,665. Ladies and gentlemen, as we do this, kindly remember to share. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. Promote your teacher. Let us share. Very good. So here we are. Here we are. We have our equation. Our equation, remember our equation is y equals ax raised to power b plus 1. So we have our equation here, which is 52,500 x raised to 0.48, like that. So they want us to give them y for the 64th batch, which we have said will be y64 minus y63, to be left with the 64th batch. So then this one here will be 52,500 into 64 raised to this, because this is applicable, raised to 8.48 minus 63 raised to 0.848, like that. So come right away. So we have 52,500 times 64, rather brackets, important to put brackets, times, open brackets, we have 64 raised to 0.848 minus 63 raised to 0.848, close brackets. What do we have here, somebody? I can see a figure of 23,688. Can leave the decimals out. So come and give us our labor cost statement. Labor cost, we have the first 64, which is costing us this figure. I hope you remember that figure, 1,785,665. And then we have the balance. The balance, how many are we talking about here, the balance? We are 256 batches, and they've been able to account for 64. And remember, each of these now will be costing a stable cost of that, 23,688. So we have 256 minus 64 equals times 23,688, which gives us 4,548,096. So come and give us the total labor cost. So plus 17,85,665, which gives us 63,33,761. So ladies and gentlemen, once I get this, now doing a profit statement will not be hard. Remember, labor is, we normally find learning effect on labor costing. The moment I have this, I'll be able to get the material cost I had there, any overhead I had here, and then I'll be able to take the revenue minus the total what? Cost to get the profit. So for you to be able to get the full solution to this, number one, pay for our videos at AfriSchool. Number two, you can complement the videos by buying these books. RCM books, you cannot go wrong with them. So AfriSchool videos plus RCM revision kits, you can't go wrong. Otherwise, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. They have an audience who doesn't want to talk to us. Not usual. Any question? So I take this opportunity to thank you a lot for having signed in and watched this particular program. Please keep on watching AfriSchool videos and promote us by buying. Thank you.